This is the plaintiff, Paul Konecki. He says the defendant backed her car into his, bashing it up but good. The defendant refuses to make things right and pay him for the repairs. So he's taking his case here to the People's Court, seeking justice for the $1,600 he's owed. This is the defendant, Emily Dameyer. She says the plaintiff's truck's an old rusted heap of junk that isn't even worth what he's suing for to fix. The guy's trying to take advantage of her. Says he can't drive it, but she sees him driving it every day for the last month. Owe him money for a teeny little scratch? She thinks not. She's accused of a backup crack-up.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff says the defendant creamed his truck by backing into it, but the defendant says the plaintiff's truck is worthless. It's the case of I can't keep on trucking.
Okay, Mr. Konecki, you're suing Emily Dameyer for $1,600 that you say she owes you in lost wages and car repair because she hit your truck. Yes. Tell me what happened.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll be close on times and dates. It was just so long ago, but it was June 16th, around between 11 and midnight in the evening. I was inside the house, heard a...
Was this your own house?
In my dad's house.
Okay.
Heard a crunch, came out the front door.
That bad crunch of metal, crunching metal?
Yeah.
That completely unmistakable sound of bad stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
She was pulling away from the car. When I came out, she was pulling away from it. And
she wasn't trying to leave, though?
No.
Okay.
No, she wasn't trying to leave. And she said she'd take care of it. Please, we don't need to call anybody. Well, I'll take care of this. And I'll make it right.
So no police were called?
No police.
How old are you?
I just turned 20. 3 days ago.
You look so young. Happy birthday. You look so young.
Thank you.
All right, so what happened?
Basically the same thing he said. It was probably...
Where were you parked?
I was parked with the flow of traffic on the grass in the front yard.
Okay, on the swale?
Yeah,
Right.
Part on the road, part on the grass.
Part on the road, part on the grass. Why? Why not all on the grass?
Because there's not enough room. There's bushes and trees there.
Okay. And what happened?
Basically in the middle of the road, narrow road. Perfect timing, 7 o'clock. You have your visor flipped. I backed into the car.
Was it 7 or was it 11?
No, it was like 7 o'clock, 8.
Okay.
It was pretty early.
All right.
It was like dusk. Backed up. I pulled forward. I went to his door. I said, I backed into the truck. He walked out.
I mean, you felt it was your fault when it happened, right?
Well,
because he's not moving or anything. He's parked.
Well, yeah, of course.
I mean,
I don't think it was.
I know. I guess you feel as though he was in the middle of the road too much. Too much of his car was hanging over.
It wasn't even that. We came out. We all kind of looked at it together because I didn't even want to look. He's claiming that the dent was fully from me. I said, we would figure it out. He said it's not really a big deal. We'll figure it out. They shook hands.
Who's they?
My boyfriend and Paul. No money owed. Nothing like that.
No money owed?
Yeah. No, they said that they would bang the dent out or get a replacement.
They'd figure it out. Something was going to happen. They just didn't know what that night. When they're shaking hands and saying, we'll figure it out, that doesn't mean, hey, bye, see you, never call you again. That's not what that means.
No, not like that at all.
All right, so now, what kind of truck is this?
It's an old truck.
As in?
95 Mazda
Okay.
B2300.
All right. So what's the next thing that happens?
Waited about a week.
What was damaged on it, by the way?
When it got hit, the dent's not a big deal. But when
Right.
it got hit, there's 2 brackets that hold the leaf spring to the frame.
What's that mean?
The leaf spring is the support for the back. And that's what broke free. And that's
Okay.
what made it dangerous to drive.
Okay, can I see a picture of the truck? And you're still driving it, right?
Yes, I sent a picture of the bad dent, but I have a picture on my phone of the
Just
truck.
give me any picture you want me to see. This is the trial. This is the
Okay.
only
Then let me
person
give you
you
this
took a picture for. So,
Let me give you this one.
and no one went through insurance, obviously. That's why I'm here. Do you have insurance?
I wish.
Why do you say you wish?
I wish I did. We wouldn't be here. Sure.
Oh my gosh.
That's a poor picture.
All right. You got a little tin worm on this truck, huh?
I'm sorry?
Little rust going on this truck?
Oh, it's an old truck, no doubt.
All right. Where's the dent? Like over the wheel, up top, close to the top of the truck?
To the left.
Bed?
To the left between the gas cap and that.
Yeah. Did you ever take it in for an estimate?
I did. First, her father asked me to go to his friend. I went
Right.
to him first.
And?
And on his estimate, he didn't even want to put anything about the brackets. That's his estimate right there.
Okay. And what was
And-
his estimate?
$1,800 and change.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Your Blue Book value of your car is barely $700.
That's why I asked her for
Right.
$500 initially, just to get the brackets fixed.
That seemed kind of reasonable.
That's the second
no?
estimate. That's even more. The
Nobody
second
wanted to pay
estimate's even more.
$500?
It wasn't that. When he had called my father, this was before I knew what had transpired between the two of them. He went to the mechanic. My father spoke to the mechanic. I just found this out last night, that the truck was so badly rotted that they said that it was unsafe to even drive it back home.
Okay, what difference does all that make? The
so
fact
he-
is, that's up to him whether he wants to drive some
Yeah.
jalopy. And so if he wants to fix it, the question is, what did your damage cause? What's it worth?
Exactly.
So what if your own dad's mechanic is saying that to fix it, it's $1,800, and the guy offers just to take $500 and call it a day, why is that not reasonable? Because you felt that it was, I mean, it has a Blue Book value in its crappy state. You understand?
Yeah.
Like in fair condition, not good condition, not excellent condition, but just like the worst of conditions, it has a Blue Book value of $700, which is higher than what he offered for you to. So I'm not getting.
Well, what he had said to me at first, this was when he had called me and we spoke on the phone, was that he agreed to $500 and that it wasn't for the dent. He wanted to fix the rotted brackets,
Right.
which he first had said was not my fault, and then he did.
Okay, when did he say it was not your fault?
When he had spoken to me on the phone, I would say it was sometime.
Did you ever say the brackets falling off was not your fault?
No, I said, I understand your predicament. They were rusted, but when you hit it, they broke free. They need to be fixed.
Okay, so go
Well,
on.
so anyway, so he had told me that he doesn't mind banging out the dent as long as I can pay to fix the rot. So
For the
I was
brackets.
unclear of the whole
You mean,
problem at the time.
rod meaning the bracket?
The rotted brackets, I don't know what else it was that my dad said it was something else like that the mechanic
so
had told him.
so you said no, I'm not going to pay you anything. What happened?
Well, so then he spoke to my father. My father had offered him $3. Then he said, you know, my wife said I'm being unreasonable. And at this point, I guess it was just we were tired of the back and forth. So we figured we would just bring
wait,
it to
whose
court.
wife said who was being unreasonable?
His wife he told me his wife said that he was being unreasonable.
wife
My
said-
wife said, take 4 and call it a day.
Okay, so why didn't you take the phone
I
and call
called them
it?
back, and then she said, I never hit your truck.
What?
No, that was not
That's
how
what
it
she
happened.
said to me on the phone.
What'd you say to him?
He had told me that he came
I'm
no
here
longer.
over that. You guys have had it all worked out. $400, completely reasonable. And then no? What happened?
So if it's a dented truck, does the defendant still have to pay?
Unfortunately, yeah, I think he still does
She.
have to pay. She does still have to pay.
But it's a dented truck. It's an old truck.
It doesn't matter if they dent it, they should pay.
Huh. Okay. Going inside the courtroom.
He had called me earlier in the day and said that he can no longer drive the vehicle, and I'm at home and I hear my mom saying there's somebody outside walking around the front yard taking pictures of your car.
While he's talking to you saying I can't drive the vehicle?
No, he had called me earlier.
I'm trying to do, you remember when you were in high school, did you ever have to like analyze like the open frog, dissect the little anatomy and just see where one thing begins and one ends?
Yes.
I'm trying to see the moment this whole thing
Okay,
broke down.
so
just a second. So he's on the phone with you before he goes to your house to take
Yes.
pictures, days before, weeks before. And he says to you, I'll take the 400, and you say,
He didn't tell me that. He told my dad that. So
is your dad here?
No, he's
then
not.
you're the woman I have to ask
Yes,
the questions
ma'am.
of. All right.
So-
So when he said, I'll take the 400, what happened at that second on your side?
I have no idea. I think maybe my dad at that point had just told him to take it to court.
Ah,
I
and
know
that's
what
why
was
we're
said.
here, right?
I know what was said.
And what was said?
She said that. That's when she said. 'cause
She
I
said
got-
it, not her dad.
that's when
She said to you, you
"I
can't
never
even
hit-
prove
I
you
never
I hit your car.
truck."
I never hit your truck.
I texted her father, and I said, "It's
Your daughter said-
since your daughter and you aren't honest, and we'll make this right. I'll take you to small claims court."
Okay, so you tell
I
her
do.
father, your daughter just told me she never even hit my truck, and the father says,
He said, "Let me get this correct. This is pretty close."
fascinating.
He said, "Paul, I'm perplexed by your text message. Are you on medication?"
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so now everyone's
So I
insulting
said, "You're a
everyone.
really sad man," and I hung up on him.
Okay.
And I have a statement
and that's
right here.
why I'm here.
Your Honor.
Well, no, that's why you're here. I gotta be here. I want to be here. He's got to be here. He wants to be
Absolutely.
here. They don't have to be here, but they love being here to hear this kind of stuff. It's
you're-
fascinating to them how two people who probably have better places to be
Yeah.
are here over $100. It's fascinating to me. Okay, so yeah, what else? You got?
Your Honor, the street, first of all, in front of the house is 20 feet wide.
Okay, please, I don't need to hear any of this. All
There's-
right, I
okay,
am ruling
can
no, we're done.
Okay.
I'm ruling in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $500. Pay the man.
All right, both sides, hold on, please.
How did it come to this?
I'm not really too sure.
Come on.
I asked myself the same thing.
I mean, do you think is this where you should be? Should it have come this
No.
far? Well,
No, sir.
what could have happened to keep it out of here?
People being reasonable.
So there was some unreasonableness going on whose part? Both?
Not mine.
Both? Oh, you
Not
didn't
mine.
do anything wrong. You
No.
just backed into the car, right? And you have no responsibility at all in this whole thing, right? I once did that in my dad's driveway when I was about your age. I had to pay.
Well, that's what happened.
Yeah. But did you pay?
Yeah.
All right. Right down this way. Okay, come on in here. Should this have been avoided?
I would think so. I would think so. If
Was it the way they treated the things that got said? Is that how we got here?
Pretty much. Yeah, it was time to quit and call it a day and let the courts work it out.
What was the moment that you knew that you had to go to court?
When he asked me if I was on medication, then that's when I just called it quits.
Mm-hmm. So you're satisfied with what you got out of this and how it worked out?
It's fair.
Okay, Harvey.
You know, it doesn't matter that it's an old truck. You're entitled to get your property fixed, but you cannot exceed the value of the truck and what you're suing for. So you're maxed out at that.